Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Tread. And this is a new documentary streaming on Netflix right now, and it's written and directed by Paul Salette, which you're wondering, why is a documentary written? Well, this documentary incorporates dramatizations of this crazy story about a man, Marvin Heemeyer, who gets pushed to the edge and makes basically like a tank bulldozer and tries to destroy his town. That's right. This sounds like something somebody wrote, but no, this happened in real life. And it's interesting because they bring up the point that this happened the day Ronald Reagan died. So it got pushed under the rug a lot in the news, but like, crazy story about a guy who deals with so much small town politics, which I think we could all relate. There's a lot of politics that go on in small towns, and people are treated like outsiders if they aren't like in the inner circle of all these families that have been there for generations. Trust me, my small town had townships just like same families have lived there for generations and generations and generations. And this guy keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and you get to see all these interviews of the people involved giving different perspectives on this man and what pushed him to this point. And it does incorporate dramatizations and obnoxious dramatizations at that. They kind of take you out of the documentary, which I wasn't the hugest fan of. I could have done without those. And because they have actual footage of this. Like legitimate footage, and it's terrifying. Watching this giant just tank of a bulldozer thing with guns shooting out of it, steamrolling through buildings. And this all actually happened. And the documentary shows enough for you to gain perspective on how this man was pushed this far. And at least you could see why he did this. Not quite understand why somebody would choose this reaction of you've been pushed around by small town politics that you'd literally make a giant machine to just actually raise the town to the ground. But it's intense. These interactions, they're very spirited interviews, and you once you get to the climax of this, the last like 25 minutes where they're really showing what went on with this whole entire situation, I was hooked. It did get a little distracting when they cut away to like these obnoxious slow motion, like out of an action movie kind of scenes, but like the actual footage is terrifying, like I mentioned before. Tread's a very interesting and engaging documentary that might make a little bit too much of an ambitious choice in the dramatizations to which I've seen work really, really well in other documentaries. This one, not so much. It felt like it got a little cheesy when you're supposed to be terrified about what's going on. Like, I don't think this is really going for like an action, should be going for an action movie tone when it's more of like a terrifying horror thriller tone, because like this was dangerous and terrifying. I can't imagine being somebody in that town when all this was going down. But you hear from all these town folk. But in general, Tread's a really interesting documentary, and it's streaming on Netflix right now, so go check it out. But those are my thoughts on Tread. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.